Oh, that was weird.
That was weird. What happened?
It wouldn't let me undo it. It came up as red X's on everything, and I couldn't undo
Huh.
anything. It was very odd.
Interesting.
Very odd.
Welcome, everybody, to the Odd Podcast.
The odd podcast. That's yeah, it came on kind of strange. I was like, whoa, yeah. How are
So
you?
I just, good. How are you? I just
Good.
realized this is episode 193. We're seven away, huh?
I've said it before. I feel like we've been in the 190s and 180s for like 30, 40 weeks.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
But we will be hitting 200 before you know it.
I know. Amazing. Uh, what a day.
Yeah. I just drove through four rainstorms to get here.
Get out.
They were all the size of a football field.
No kidding, huh?
You know what? I've got a thought that I just can't get out of my head. Why do people pull over on side of the interstate
I have no idea.
when it is pouring so hard that you can barely see? Why would they not go 30 like I was doing, moving versus putting your blinking flashing lights on and sitting there while people are passing you a foot, 2 feet away from your car?
Yep.
How do they think that's safer?
I don't know. It's crazy.
And this is coming from somebody that I've had two hydroplane wrecks in my past. A lot of them I was teenager side.
Hmm.
I am terrified of driving in the rain,
Yeah.
but I know if you slow down, it's better to move than to pull over on side of the road. And I'm only bringing it up because a lot of people do it, like a lot.
Yep.
I drove
Because they're
through a short
scared.
mile stretch and I saw both sides of the interstate, probably seven, eight cars pulled over with their lights flashing. And I was like, you're just asking for it. You're
Yeah.
asking to be hit in the
Did
back.
someone teach him to do that? I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. And I'm kind of bringing it up, just kind of wondering because I mean, I'm sure there's people that listen to this podcast that do it, but maybe I'm just saying you need to think about which is better odds that are going at a 30-mile rate down the road. What's the
Mhm.
worst thing that's going to happen
So
versus somebody who's going 70 because they don't understand the rain and they plow into the back of you. Which
mhm.
one is more likely to happen?
I could see if people are nervous, pull off on an exit
Yes,
and go sit in a parking lot somewhere, but
I see
not on
that.
the interstate because the idiots going 70 will hydroplane and kill
Yes.
you.
Yes. And under an underpass, you see it a lot too. They'll
Yep.
sit under the
Yep.
underpass with their lights blinking. I'm like, it's just because there's always those people that don't understand hydroplaning and they'll go 70, 80 when it's pouring so hard you can't even
Hmm.
see. That's who I'm scared of.
Yep.
And
Me
I'd
too.
rather be going 35 when that happens
Me
versus
too.
sitting on side of the road. And it was amplified because when I was driving here, I passed three little things like that. Storms, little spot storms, and every single one of them was like that. There were people pulled over, and I was like, just doesn't seem smart to me. I mean, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there was something that I don't know.
I don't. I know you're
Oh,
you're right. I think it's idiocy
I
stopping on the interstate. The only
mean,
time you
I'll slow down
stop on an interstate is if you get a flat tire or a breakdown.
because all it takes is one person, and
Yeah.
you're gone. And as
Yeah.
many people that don't pay attention now, it's yeah. So that's my
It's
deep
crazy.
thoughts that just happened, and I was just wondering. I'm sharing it.
Hey, this podcast is sponsored by Grit Automation, and they're our premium sponsor at SplinterCon.
Con,
Con.
con.
You know that's right around the corner.
I was going to say the same thing. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I'm
It really is coming up fast,
I was on a
fast.
not video, a it was kind of weird, but I was on a conference, not a conference. Yeah, I guess it was a conference call. There were two other people on it, and they were interviewing me. I'm doing a trade show or their expo up in Charlotte, Michigan. It's called Johnson's Workbench, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna do it right now. They go, yeah. So it's kind of cool. They just interviewed me for an hour, and they're gonna put it all
Oh,
together and put it on their website. So that's what. But that was weird. I didn't know what to expect. It was different. I did that today.
Did it kind of wear out your brain, or are you okay?
Oh, no, I'm good. I could talk. So they would ask me a question. I would go on for like 10 minutes. I go, now you get the gist. I could talk, right? They both lost it. They were laughing. I was going, you're like the easiest person to interview. I go, well, I talk for a living
Yeah, it helps, doesn't it?
and I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home tonight. And you got they said, you got a podcast? I go, yeah, three splinters. They go, huh? So I talked about that and they're like, oh.
And who was it that interviewed you? What was it?
There was two people from Johnson's Workbench, and I think I'm there September 5th and 6th to do a their expo, and I heard it is an amazing show. It is so
So,
daggone busy.
is Johnson's Workbench a company or a show?
Yep. Nope. It's a dealer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's and they have one in South Bend, and I'm going to do one in October in South Bend,
Oh, okay.
and go to a Notre Dame game too.
Oh, with your contact, your
Yep.
connection.
And Marianne's coming up for the game, and my son, daughter-in-law, and grandson, we're all going to go to the game together. I guess
Nice.
they're going to, boy, they're going to get tickets for that. It's going to be pretty awesome.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked.
When's that?
They're playing USC, and I think it's October 18th. It's a night game. But
Okay.
I'm doing 2 days of a festival experience with Travis at Johnson's Workbench in South Bend.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just crazy, man. We got
Yeah.
SplinterCon and then the build off the next week.
Hmm. Yeah.
Unbelievable. That's in
Well,
Tampa. I'll be in Tampa for a week.
yeah, it'll be jam packed.
Woo.
It'll be jam packed.
Yeah. And but the week before we got SplinterCon, and I'm actually taking from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. I'm just I need to relax before the con. It's gonna be so
Yeah.
much doggone fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
And also, our other sponsors are Leather by Dragonfly and Forge 3D. Thank you very much for
Very
your
much.
support.
Yes. Mouse pads.
Mouse
iPad.
pads, essentially pouches.
Yeah.
Too cool.
Sedgley. What's the other one? There's the Sedge,
The mini Sedge
mini
and the
Sedge,
Wingman.
Wingman. Yeah. Yep. I have them all. We use them all regularly.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest thing that I found with the little pocket ones, little Sedgley, and the different, you just have to have them with you. Well, for me,
Yeah.
like I need to have it in my van when I'm working. Just sometimes I need to grab it for like putting screws or in my shop.
Yeah.
So it almost ideally I need two because I have to remember to pack it. But
Yeah.
I try to keep it on my Festool tool bag so that I have it either place. But it pays off that we have two of them because Cameron has sometimes I use his when I forget mine. So it works out. But we use those
What's
a
fun?
lot.
What's funny is I have one at home and I have one at Festool, and I may be spoiled, but it's just like I keep forgetting. And Chris is funny as heck. He goes, "Do you wake up in the morning and put that pouch on?" I go, "Uh huh." You know, somebody reached out to me and said, "Dude, you even wear your pouch mowing the lawn?" 'Cause I did that Ego lawnmower video, and I had the pouch on. I didn't even know.
Do you know that's funny? My equivalent to that is some Saturdays I get up, I open up the hall drawer, and I put my Pika pencil in the side of my pocket, and I'll be like, I'll look down, I'm like, why did I put this in my pocket? Like
I
I have to
know.
have it in there, or I feel lost.
I
It's
know.
um, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You get used to having it. And then when you don't have them, you're like, what am I going to do? And you didn't have them at one time, but you get used to things like that. And then when you don't have it, you're like, well, I guess I can use this carpenter's pencil thing. I guess I can use that. I guess. And I'm like, no, I
Yeah.
got to find my other. Where's my Pika pencil at? I can't use the carpenter's pencil. I can't.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah, you get used to things.
You just get used to things and
Hmm.
it's just like, okay, so uh I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I recently
I already had one, so that's good.
uh, so I always think about our podcast like this and people listening. And I know we talk a lot about woodworking and, and life. And so we mix that in there. But I'm thinking, we're just having our regular conversation that we would have normally, and people are joining us in on it. It's kind of cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what's
Very
fun
very
about,
organic.
yeah, yeah. So, what I was getting at is, uh, I have a new addition to my pouch,
What's that?
and it was given to me. I'm going to do a video on it. I am now an affiliate for them, and it's really cool because uh, I really like this new tool, and it's going to live in my pouch. But the tough thing is what do I replace in the pouch?
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's cool. The company's called Metmo.
Mm-hmm.
They start out doing it's a process of laser milling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this because I'm just jazzed because they sent me a multi-driver
Mm-hmm.
that I really, really like because they said, would you be interested? And we'll send you one. They did. And I kind of freaked out because they're machining. It's a machine shop. It- that's the best way I could describe it. That
Mm-hmm.
probably, if they ever listen to this, they'll go, yeah, I said you kind of get it, but we're so much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
But they make some really cool things. They do a lot of fidget things for your desk, but they make this multi-driver that is so precision. It's a ratcheting one, and you can flip it. It goes into a small little size,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna do a video on it. And I would do it anyhow because when I get a cool tool, I like to talk about it, and I won't bring it into work because I'll lose it. And when I say lose it, everybody will want to just start fidgeting with this thing because it's so precision.
Oh, that's cool. I like things
Yeah.
like that.
So it's kind of funny when somebody reaches out to me, and you get this all the time. People reach out to you for stuff, and I decline so much because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
But when this person reached out to me twice, and it's the founder of it, and I went, and then I did. He sent 3 videos, and I watched it. I went, oh, that's really cool precision milling and
Yeah,
machining. And I went,
that's
okay, send me one. And I fell in love with it. So it's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna do the video this week or next week.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did the email start with "Hello, dear. We love your contents"?
No, no.
I
And
got
those
one
those are the
today. I got one today. Said we love your contents.
I love that. AI driven emails,
Yeah.
AI
Hello, dear.
driven marketing emails, reaching out
They
to influencers.
There's something about other countries that they think we say "hello, dear" at the
Yeah.
beginning of a business
Oh yeah.
email because I
Oh
get
yeah.
that all the time. It says "hello, dear."
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Uh
I
it,
think they get it. They get it from where we say "dear Sedge." I want it. Maybe that. So
yeah, maybe that's it.
they think "hello, dear" is. And I mean, I've been seeing this for years. I get those. It's "hello, dear."
Huh.
Hello, dear. I saw one today and I was laughing because it said, "We love your contents." But
Oh my
it's
God.
just they don't really love my contents. They're just have me. They were thought they would try to reach out.
Yeah, you could tell the AI driven emails, and I get like 10 a day, and I just
Yeah.
no,
Oh, I
thank
know.
you. These brands I just wouldn't do because they're not of a quality brand. I guess I don't. No, I shouldn't say that.
No, I know
I
what you're
should
saying.
say I just am not interested in promoting lawn furniture or
Right.
oh my God, somebody was reaching out to me for makeup.
Yeah. I've gotten jewelry. I've gotten a jewelry.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hello, dear. we we we've been looking at your page and we think you'd be the ideal person for selling our jewelry." And I'm like, "Really?
Yeah, no, it's
You've
just
really been
funny.
looking?"
It's just throwing a bunch of stuff out there, and maybe you're gonna get somebody that
Yeah,
does it.
I guess so. I guess so. I don't know. You're right. I would say 5 to 10 a day is normal of things you kind of have to go through, and the deer kind of helps you weed through them real quick. what
Yeah.
they what they are. And as bad as you can miss a really good valid one if you're not paying attention, you
Yeah.
can miss one. But
Yeah.
it's
It's just it's funny. I just like talking about stuff I was gonna use anyhow.
yes, that makes it
Okay.
easy. Makes it easy
And
to do a video
I
too.
mean, I make zero money. I'm not an affiliate. I just have friends there. But I've been using Bessie K bodies for well over 30 years. 35 probably, 40 probably. And I have friends who work there. I'm
Mhm.
gonna promote Bessie because that I could talk about it, but I make no money and I don't care. I'm gonna use them. Might as well talk about them because they're the best.
That's all I use is Bessie. It's interesting how quickly you get spoiled because it has tested my limits of how many clamps I have on the boat.
Yep.
And I was doing something last week and I ran out of one-handed clamps and I had four Craftsman ones old. Like I've had these forever.
Yep.
And they're
Yep.
red and black. They actually look like Bessie clamps. I didn't think about it at first. And I started doing it. I was like, why is this trigger only like
Yeah.
halfway engaging? Why isn't this tightening up all the way? Why isn't, and I look, finally I realized it was my backup clamps. I have four
Hmm.
of these Craftsman clamps. And I told Cameron, I'm like, we are spoiled with the Bessie clamps because these
Hmm.
don't work the way that the Bessies do. You can barely squeeze the trigger and they will tighten on the Bessies. On the Craftsmans, you have to do a full squeeze to make it
Yep.
tighter. So it makes it where you kind of, if it's not the right thickness, it doesn't get tight.
Exactly.
And that's a huge difference. So it makes you appreciate them. But yeah, the one-handed clamps and the K bodies, I love them.
Yeah, me too.
They're
Yeah.
great. You
Yeah.
got to be careful though. I regularly hurt myself with K bodies. You know,
Oh, oh,
how many different ways can you get hurt with K bodies? Let's
a
talk about
lot.
that.
No, oh my God. Yeah, they come slamming down on your hand. Yeah. Oh
That's
boy.
one.
Have they ever fallen down on your head out of the rack?
Yep. And the
Oh
other
boy.
one, if you don't have the end on there on the bottom and the
Yeah.
bottom part just falls off the rail and it
Oh
can
yeah.
land on your foot, it
Oh
can
yeah.
land on. And when they drop like a lead weight. I had a
Oh
new one
yeah.
last week. I was tightening one up in a weird position. My finger went into the thing where the throat kind of the clamp, it went
Yep.
into it, and I was turning like really aggressively,
Ooh.
and my finger went in there, and I was like, I pulled it out. He was like, "What'd you do?" I was like, "Well, that's a new one."
Oh, it went into that little U. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. How
yes.
the hell did you do that?
I was sometimes I'm on a boat, you're using them weird directions. And we were trying to get it to grab, and I was more worried about the other side of it than what I was screwing on. And my finger just went in there, and I was like, "Well, that's a new one." But those clamps are just unbelievable. You got to be careful with them though, because they're so strong. You can break
Mhm.
things with them. That's what always have to remember. Was it 1,000 pounds of pressure? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
I don't know that. I don't.
I think it's over 1,000 pounds of pressure those K bodies put on, and people need to know that. I keep two in my van just when I'm doing decking. If I have a bowed board or something, I'll go to
Oh
the
yeah.
side and you can pull down something that you could stand and jump on and not move. And that K body will just pull it right down.
Yeah, it's got some nut to it.
Yeah. Love those. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan. And that's a good example of something that hurts when you buy them, but you have them forever. It doesn't
Ever.
matter. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
as long as you don't get glue all over the jaws.
So it's kind of funny. I did the video on how to clean them up, and I've had these for over 30 years. That was about 5, 6 years ago. Oh no, 5 years ago. I did a video. Well, my friend at Bessie said, Sedge, that is a great video. Thank you. Can and what was her name? Danielle?
The one
The, yeah,
Danielle.
Danielle. Danette.
Yeah.
She reached out to me. She goes,
Danette.
Danette.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful lady. She goes, Sedge.
Yes.
She goes, we want to replace them. Can you donate those? And I went, okay. And I gave the ones away, and they sent me all new Revos. And I went, oh, but you know what? The old ones had the wooden handles.
Yep. I've got all of them. I've got
Yeah.
rubber, plastic, wood, like all the different ones. They're all
Yeah.
different.
But I gave them away to another woodworker, and he
I
was
do
much
like the
appreciative.
newer handles because your hand doesn't slide when you're trying to
I
tighten them down.
I and I do, and they're not totally round. They got a little.
Yeah,
like triangle to it.
yeah, it
Yep.
helps. It helps a lot, but I hang on
Yep.
to all of them. Um, one of the best tips I ever heard. I didn't do this, but somebody used to. I don't think Home Depot carries Best anymore. I think they used to.
No.
But if you're by a store that carries them, someone said they buy like two at a time. And that's a good way of doing it. Just buy two at a time. If you do
Yep.
that like once a month for like 2 years,
Yep.
you can have a nice clamp collection.
That's
And
how I used to do it.
I think, and also going longer first instead of shorter, because longer clamps can be used for everything,
Yes.
and then work your way down. But the ones I use the most are like, I'd say like the 30-inch
30,
size.
31s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
use
That's what I
those
use the
the
most.
most. But I'm always glad when I have those longer ones
Mm.
because you need sometimes to pull in like a big glue up.
Yep.
But those are great. I love them. I love them. You know what else comes in handy? I've got the little short K bodies that are like a foot long.
Yeah.
I use those a lot. I use them. I
I
wouldn't think that I do, but I do.
I just I have two of them at work, and they're kind of cool to use just to do a quick little glue up of a couple pieces.
Yeah, they it's like having a helper in the shop.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Fun stuff.
Were we gonna talk about
Well,
clamps tonight?
we can talk. We haven't talked about clamps in a while. I do love clamps. I do love clamps.
Hey, check out my new shirt, Iron Timbers. You know who those
Nice.
guys are?
I are they? Have I seen them out on social media?
Yeah, they're really great group of guys,
Mhm.
brothers. They and a father, and they started on HGTV with Two Chicks and a Hammer. That
Oh
company,
yeah, yeah,
Good
yeah,
Bones, and then
yeah.
it turned into Good Bones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did a presentation for us at Festool, and they gave everybody away a couple of, everybody got a T-shirt or a hoodie.
Uh-huh.
And I go, "You guys got any double X's?" And they just drew a blank, and they go, "Oh no, we'll get some to you." So I said, "Okay." Today I got a package in the mail. They sent me a hoodie and a
Whoa.
T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. So you ever
Yeah.
put on a new T-shirt and within a minute you've already stained it? I already got a stain on this.
Kelly can get out any stain. She's a magician.
Yeah.
Usually soaks them like overnight first, and then
It's
she loves
crazy.
to get stains out. It's like a fun
But
game for her.
they're really a great group of guys. It was kind of neat
Oh,
hearing
cool.
their story and how they started and what they do and what they want to do. And yeah, it's nice meeting them.
That's cool.
Iron Timbers.
Iron Timbers.
But they're in southern Indiana,
Oh, okay,
and
so they're close to you.
they did a lot of they did quite a few seasons with Good Bones or Two Chicks and a Hammer, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I remember the Two Chicks and a Hammer one.
Yeah, I've been following it on social media for a long, long time, and I didn't know about the program. But everybody else knew about it. I didn't because it's
Hmm.
on TV.
Yeah, I tell you, it's getting to be where a lot of things on TV people just don't even see it anymore. You know, that's
Yeah,
it's getting to be that way.
my TV is what I feed myself from YouTube.
Me too.
And that's it. I don't even really follow much on regular television. I got TVs all over the house, but that's for other
Me too.
people and Marianne.
We've pretty much forgotten about network TV now. We don't even see
Hmm.
it as an option, and I don't think we're alone with that. It's just I like the on demand part. I don't like to be waiting for something to come on. It
Yes.
seems so old now to do that.
Yes.
So
Yep.
we just don't even, and we used to watch like morning, have the news on in the mornings. We stopped doing that pretty much completely, like maybe 6 months ago or so. It was
Look
Drew
who's
Witt.
trying to call me.
Hey, take the call from him on the podcast.
Should I?
Yeah, you
Hang on. Hang
should.
on.
Drew
Hang on.
Witt's calling in.
Hey, Drew, how you doing? Hang on. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone
It may
because I'm
not
on my
pick him up.
podcast.
It may not pick him up.
Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, we're recording. Say something.
I just love Jason Bent so much.
Hey, we have a guest.
We've got a guest on our podcast. That's awesome.
And I get you. Your picture came up on my phone, so I'll just hold it up here for a second.
Drew Witt calling in.
Jason?
Nope, it's just Jason's in Germany right now, so it's just Ronnie and I.
Perfect. It must be amazing.
Yeah. So whatever you were going to ask Sedge, just pretend like you're asking everyone on the
Man,
podcast.
that's so funny. I'm sorry to call
Oh,
the podcast.
it's all good, brother. It's just funny that you called
He's
and
like,
Ronnie
look,
said, I showed
answer
look who's look who's calling. And it's just funny. Ronnie goes, answer it. Answer it. Hey, you want to call me back tomorrow? Can
Sure.
can can it wait?
Send you a video.
Okay.
The MFT3 getting the track square to the fence.
Yep.
And I'm like losing my mind all day. I'm like, let me just call the expert. So I'll record a video and send it to you.
Okay, and I have a training in the morning, but in the afternoon I can talk you through anything.
Okay.
Sound good, buddy?
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, anytime. Thanks for being
See
on
ya,
the
Drew.
podcast with
Thanks
us.
for being on the podcast.
Okay. Have a good one, brother. Bye.
That was awesome. It was funny to me for people who can't see it. When you held up your phone and I see Drew's face on the phone, you're like, look who's calling in. I was like, let's take a call from a caller.
That is funny as hell.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. He's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He's a good sport.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like about him. You know. And boy, his channel's growing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Good for him.
Yes.
Cool.
Have you heard from Jason, by the way, in Germany?
Not really. Just following a few of his stories here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of when I'm of that ilk, if someone says, "Hey, I'm going on vacation," go on vacation. You
Right.
don't need to have contact. You
Yeah,
need
I've
to
seen
get
some.
away.
I've seen like Nicole and Jason's kind of posts, so I kind of know what they're up to, but I didn't know if you talked to him or not. I didn't.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm not gonna like reach out to. I'm just kind of curious how
Yeah.
it's going.
So you want to hear something really funny? You remember when I went to Ireland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was really cool is that was the first time I went off the grid, kinda, because I have a business phone with Sedge tool, and I brought that, but I left everything here, and I talked about it. I didn't answer emails or anything, and I always did during vacations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was off the grid. Marianne was really proud of me, but we were taking pictures and posting them on the Sedge tool account of our trip through Ireland. So I get back to Festool and somebody says, "How was the trip?" And my boss, Angela, goes, "Oh, you guys look like you had such a great time." She follows Sedge Tool.
Oh, that's how she do. That's funny.
And I went, "Oh, that's cool." You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we got a great group of people there, and it all cemented last week. We had our 2026 marketing planning meeting, and it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, all day sitting in meetings, just the marketing department, and it was really cool because we did like a Shark Tank with ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody had input. It was a lot of fun.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I've been
boy.
seeing. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I've been seeing all the European. We need to call out the elephant in the room. All the Europe posts about the new tools, and I've seen everybody's going crazy over them. I'm like, yep,
So,
that's how it kind of gets leaked before.
well, what did Brent say after Festool Live? He goes, "Said you could have done this Festool Live on pliers, and nobody would ask questions about the pliers. Everything was about, the new tools that people are
Mhm.
seeing." I
Yeah.
still have to be cautious. I
Well,
can't talk about it.
I know we also have to be cautious because even though we see something, it doesn't mean it's going to come to North America.
That's exactly 100%
And
correct.
I've learned that there's tools that were released 3 or 4 years ago that I have wanted. There's tools that were released that still have never came here that I thought we were going to get. So I don't count on anything just because you see it doesn't mean that it's coming. Right.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So
It's
that
we learned our lesson back in 2000 and I think 3 or 4 when we went to the ATF 55. We started talking about the new TS 55
hmm
and all the features, and it got postponed for a year and a half, and we had a lot of angry people. And then we guess what? We were just starting in the United States back then, so it was a huge mishap.
you
So we
know,
kind of learned our lesson. You got to be wicked careful. You can't say, yeah, it's coming. We don't know.
what's
And
interesting about that's different from company to company? Corvette, let's take them for example. I've noticed they do this, and I guess it's different type of thinking than what Festool's thinking, but every time they release a new model, at the same day they will tease what's coming next. And to me, it doesn't seem very smart, because the people who can buy whatever they want, they'll go, well, wait a minute, I'm going to hold off for this next thing. But I think they do it so that it doesn't get crazy, people paying over sticker for a car. They say there's more coming, just hold off. But they've done that 3 times in a row in the last 2 years. Every time they release something, they say, but this is not the last one in this generation. We've got something else coming out.
I also hear that, and they're good at keeping things secret, but
But I feel like
take an iPhone. I heard they already got the next generations 2 or 3, and they're just
Mhm.
holding back their technology.
Yeah, just I feel like when you're trying to sell a product as much as you can, why would you even talk about the next one in your marketing plan? That one kind of, I just don't get it. I don't get the
Yeah,
thinking behind that.
and the other thing too is people are getting that wait and see till next year stuff, and it hurts feelings. It hurts
Mhm.
people because we say no
Mhm.
because it was misforecast in this country, and we had to fulfill them first before the state. And guess what? It doesn't come for a year or two. So you waited all that time for a new product. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but uh, and what they're showing now is they have to in Germany
Mhm.
because it's coming out this fall.
Right.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
it's nobody's fault. It's just that it is a very different landscape than because of social media these days.
Mhm.
And those guys do a great job with their Festool quick guides. I know most of those guys that are doing those, and it's really great because it brings people up to speed on how to use it before it's released. So it's kind of
Yes.
cool.
I've watched those before when it was a really new product release, and that was like the only video out. I've watched the European one. They do a good job of
They
going over all the details you need to know.
what
And it's
what I like about it is they're short.
yeah, yeah. They're just
Okay. I mean the ones on the CSC 50,
mhm.
I don't think one was more than 2 minutes, and they would do like little things, boom, boom, boom. And guess what? I learned from them,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I was struggling with one little piece, and I went, let me go look at these quick stats, and then all of a sudden I went, oh, duh. And it
Mhm.
wasn't explained well, and it was in the manual, but it wasn't explained well.
Mhm. It's good
So
to see it.
yeah,
That's
and then I incorporated it into Festool Live, and I go through everything soup to nuts. I had Drew send me all these videos of his MFT.
it
It's
sounds like
kind of
he's
cool.
pretty frustrated. I don't think he just called you right off the bat. I think he's like it sounds like he's at the end of his rope. He was like,
Yeah.
I've been fooling with this all day.
Yeah, it's one of 3 knobs that are not tight.
Yeah, it's all about which one first. Kind of reminds me of Jason's saw when he set up his slider
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
There's an order,
Uh-huh.
and as long as
And
you go in the order, or the bandsaw setup, there's an order.
yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's a
yeah.
process. So uh it's simple, but I just don't have time right now. After the podcast, I'll send them the Festool, the video I have on Sedge tool that explains it from the process.
I was thinking while he was calling, I was like, "Do you have a video about that already? You can just fire it off to him. If you don't, you need to make one."
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah,
no. I
yeah.
do. I do.
Good,
But
good.
I just did a series of back to back to back. We just shot the last one this weekend. Uh, and Chris was right. God, he's a smart kid. It's funny because I did the LR32 previously. Okay. And I watched it and I said, because I did it on just the cabinet side, and then we did one later on just on the door. But it's something that we've all talked about here on the podcast because we want people to get views. It was not searchable as the best possible way on the channels. So what I did is I did one on the cabinet side. This weekend we released the door side, and then because of my Patreon, the Sedge Tool Patreon account, we had an LR32 seminar for an hour for our patrons. And all the questions that came up, I was mostly advanced techniques with it. How do I punch in the center panel? How do I connect rails? What are some other tips and tricks you have for this? Can I use this clamp with this? Can I substitute this? What if I'm doing a tall pan? All those questions I did on this next video that's being released. So it's back to back to back, and then this fall we'll release it as a whole compilation.
Oh, nice. That's smart.
So
That's
it's a
smart.
full tutorial on the LR32. But
That's
here's the
smart.
key part about all of this. Chris's camera work, all the B-roll, the close-ups are unbelievable. And sometimes I'll explain it in the old videos. I had Big D in there, and it wasn't that I was rushing through it. It was I wasn't getting the right explanation across.
Mm-hmm.
And these are so much better.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, so we updated them.
That's handy.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to do the same with the MFT, the original.
Sounds like a good plan. That's
And
handy
they're getting
stuff.
great viewage.
That's good. And crazy. It's like when you put them out there, don't base it on what the immediate. Sometimes it takes a year for them to
Yep.
start being searchable, and all of a sudden they just start kind of taking off. I've seen that more and
Well,
more.
the thing I did is I was looking at a couple of videos we released, and it's the summer doldrums. We know nobody's watching YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
but I went back to compare year to year, and it's not what I remembered last year. These videos that I did in June, July, and August all have great views, but it's been a year.
Mm-hmm. Takes a
And
while sometimes.
it's exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. They all are in the high tens, and I'm like, oh, that isn't what I remember. It was really
Right.
dead.
What I've noticed is it's almost like to the point of you don't even care about that video anymore. You don't even check on its performance. And it's way after that it starts taking off and you don't even realize it until it shows up in your analytics as being one of your top videos. And you're like, wait a minute, when did that happen? You look back at the timeline and it's like
Yeah,
flat for like a year. And all of a
yeah,
sudden it just goes, you're like, oh, I didn't know. It's not like YouTube sends you a message and say, hey, Stead, you know that video you put out a year and a half ago? We kind of like it now. They don't tell you that, you know. So unless you go into your analytics, you just don't know, you know.
yeah,
So I regularly see that. Sometimes it's over a year before it takes off. It's interesting.
yeah. And it's sometimes you get tired. Oh, I got to have this thumbnail to gain attention, and nah. I'm more into the description to make sure people it's searchable.
Right. Exactly.
Because even I had trouble looking up a few domino videos, and I was like, "Oh, how can people reference those?"
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So
That's good. I think that as time goes on, they get smarter and smarter about knowing what everything is. It just takes a while sometimes for them to pick up on it. That sometimes
yeah.
that's
And
good.
the other thing I went back when I took over the YouTube channel was there must have been, I think I counted 40 different playlists. And
Really.
I went, that's not right. That's no one's going to go to. So I boiled it down to, I think, 7 or 8
Mm-hmm.
playlists, and I put all our videos in those.
That's good.
So it's easily searchable. Like if, hey, it's for Festool and this. I
Right.
wish I had sub playlists though.
It'd be way to organize them maybe a little bit even more.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I guess maybe they don't have that because some people are watching on TVs and it starts becoming too complicated for the software of all the
probably.
different things. Have you ever happened to look and seen what your percentage are of TV watchers?
No, I
Mi-
haven't.
Mine's 60, like 65%.
How do I find that?
If you look on even on your phone app, if you go to content I'll send you a screenshot of it.
Okay.
It's like your content, like your source, and it tells on there where your people are coming from and what they're
Yep.
watching on. And
Oh,
it's
okay. Yep.
interesting. It's interesting that I more watching on TV than on handheld device or tablet. So I
Oh,
thought
that's
that
cool.
was kind of that goes back to what we were talking about with network TV.
Yeah.
People are watching YouTube at home on TV now. More and more, it's becoming the norm for sure.
Mm. That's what Marianne doesn't watch much regular TV. It's mostly YouTube videos.
I feel like YouTube is ideal for people who like to learn things
Yeah.
or yeah, I think that's a big part of it because like Kelly doesn't watch YouTube like at all. None. And she said that before. And I'm like, well, I think it's because she's not like an overly like always trying to learn something person. She's more of like, and I think that YouTube is kind of gravitated to people who want to learn a certain topic, like a
Mm.
hobby or I don't know, something that you would never find on network TV. You
It
know,
maybe it's I just want to watch to be entertained. Is that
yeah, or
yeah, that's
something something you're familiar with, maybe.
yeah,
You know,
Marianne's kind of like her a lot of her YouTube is I want to be entertained by watching The Voice because they don't have commercials on YouTube.
gotcha. That's yeah, yeah. I have the YouTube. What's it called? Premium, where I don't have
Yeah.
commercials. That was a
I don't
great.
have that yet. Everybody
You
tells me I
know,
should get it.
I'll tell you the reason why you should get it is because your time is money.
Yep.
And I did it for a month to see how I will never go back because I talk to people sometimes. Here's the reason why you want it. I talk to people sometimes. They're like, I just don't like the commercials or whatever. Like I'll tell them I watched a video. Like I'll watch your video, for example, viewers how to set up the LR32. And I know there's that place that you do it like 75% where you show, and I don't remember what it is. I can bring up that video and I can fast forward to that spot and I don't have to wait for through commercials. Because
Ah,
you know
yes.
how once you get to a quarter way, it stops you and it
Yep.
stops you again. It stops you again. You can watch 3 to 4 times more in the same amount of time because you're skipping to the places you want to see without ever seeing advertisements. And that makes it worth it for me because I watch so much on YouTube. It's a no brainer. It really is.
Ah. Now I know
Uh,
now I know why.
it time is money. It's worth it. It sucks you have to pay another monthly thing, but I'd highly
How much you
recommend it.
pay a month?
I should know, shouldn't I? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess. I think it's like 18 a month.
Oh.
Think it's like 18. But if you
Hmm.
watch, that's if it's 18, it's like, weekly, that's what, $4,
Yeah.
450 or something like that
Hmm.
a week. It's like it's worth it. It's worth it because I watched it not too long or I wasn't logged on. We were like at a hotel room and I was watching. I wasn't because I don't like to log on in a hotel room. I'm sure you probably don't either. Like to
Yeah.
log on to your own account. But I was hitting those I was like, oh my gosh, these ads suck. So it is good. I highly recommend it. I feel like Jason may be the person who sent me over the edge about getting it.
Yeah.
Somebody told him kind of the same thing, and I thought, well, I'm going to try it. So that's highly
Hmm.
recommend it.
Too cool.
Yeah, it allows you to do more and not sit through it. Um, hopefully I'm not wrong about that. 18. Somebody will correct us if not.
Hmm.
Hey, on the Discord, did you happen to see Nathan posted a question on the podcast show topics, and he was asking about building templates. Did you
Okay.
see that? Um,
No, I wasn't on Discord at all this week.
I've
Past
been
week.
I saw it and I was going to try to remember. He asked a good one that I don't think we've exactly touched on before, and we're not exactly the expert on every single one of these three options, but it's definitely interesting. He said, I'm curious, what tool do you all think is the best for making templates, typically from 1/4 to 3/4 inch MDF or plywood? My take, still haven't found the best approach. The shaper origin, CNC, or a 3D printer, or a laser, or by hand.
Oh,
He kind of goes in and they all have a place, you
yes.
know, and I kind of thought about it and I just thought it's interesting to talk about a little bit because they're all options now, and they used to not be any. It used to just be by hand, and that was it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've got all these different options. So
Mm.
it was CNC, 3D printer, laser by hand, and in shaper origin. So what's your take on it?
Oh, okay. I think everybody knows I used to make everything by hand, right?
Yeah.
I would draw out the template, fair it to the line, and then, well, there's two options: make it yourself or buy it.
Hmm.
So when it can, and I'll hopefully I ex- explain this or tell you my journey with this. Um, when I would do circles or ellipses, I'd swing an ellipse, cut it close to the line, fair it. That's why I have oscillating spindle sander, belt sander, whatever, and get it right on. But there was always a little nuance to it. Then I'd fair it again. There might be a little hiccup. It would transfer. It was labor intensive. And then there were some times where I go, yeah, maybe I can have a friend cut this for me and I have a template. I think one of the things about making templates is making sure it's of a quality material
Hmm.
without voids. A lot of people would go, I use this and this and this. And my go-to material was usually 3/8 MDF.
Yeah.
And they're
Stable,
stable, but also
smooth.
smooth, no voids. But I like the 3/8 thickness, and you also got to calculate thickness into your whole thing. I stay away from 3/4.
Hmm.
Uh, I no, because it's too thick. I'd go 1/2 inch is okay, and 3/8 is good. 1/4 inch, a no for me, because that
Yeah.
bearing doesn't ride well.
You're right. You're right.
Okay, so it's labor intensive on making templates, and that's a whole study in doing it by hand, swinging it right, laying it out, draw it, and then cut it, and then fair it. Okay, now I have thrown away a lot of circles, ellipses, pieces I've bought, plastic pieces I bought because now I have a shaper origin. Okay,
Hmm.
so what's important about this is the template will live inside the origin.
Right.
Okay. So I could take that and take it to a piece, but it all depends on the piece. So I've been thinking about this. Um, what if I'm doing 10 chairs? Okay. And the legs to the back piece. Do I want to cut that with the template in the shape of origin, or do I want to make a template and take all those small pieces because that's a narrow piece, right? I would do a template. So that here's what I'm trying to get at, and hopefully this is coming across. There's some things that you don't have to make a template for because it's in the origin.
Hmm.
Okay, but there are some pieces that you might want to make a template because you can speed up the operation quicker.
Hmm.
Draw it, cut it on its line, stick the template to it, put it on the router table.
Hmm.
Does that sound right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You could design it really quick with Shaper Studio. You can just do it right on your phone. It's crazy how easy it is. Um, but if I'm cutting like a circle ellipse, I don't make a template for that. I cut it right there. It's all about your confidence using the shaper,
Hmm.
laying it out, putting your tape out, and you have the area to do it. And they keep coming up with more and more cool stuff. I think that caliper is one of the coolest things they have.
Yeah.
Um, okay.
Hey, don't forget what you're going to say, but I want to make sure that anyone who's doing templates heard your little tip because I learned that the hard way, like 5 or 6 times, and it's a very dangerous thing to learn because you can mess up what you're making. 1/4 inch plywood, I think in most cases is not okay for a template because of the width of the bearing. You're risking the bearing cutting into your good product.
Hmm.
It happened to me on the boat. 2 days ago, and because I have quarter on the top and I'm doing the decking, and I caught it in time, but I almost had a really bad thing happen because that bearing has to be set pretty much exactly where that quarter-inch ply is. And if it drops higher or lower, it's not good. It doesn't work out good. So I just want to make sure. I've learned that kind of the hard way over a lot of years, and just that's a good tip for anyone. Mine's well used a 3/8 or a half-inch material for sure. Okay, go ahead.
So,
I'm sorry.
so cutting a template, using a template for a mortise or something. I used to do that. Those are all gone off my wall. I only have one left. I used to have a template to cut holes for. This sounds really funny for cornhole boards. Gone.
Isn't that funny that now is, yeah.
It's
You know,
obsolete.
the best way to never need a template again? To save it.
Exactly. No, 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 no. I call them, actually, I used to call my templates my time trophies
Yeah.
because you spend so much time to do a one-off, and it's a one-off project. And guess what? You can't throw the goddamn template away
I
because
know.
you spent
I know.
an hour or two fairing it and making it right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a pride thing. So you hang it on the wall and you never use it again, even after 20, 30 years.
Remember Norm's templates on his walls in the Yankee
Yeah.
workshop? He had
Yeah.
them all hanging on there. You could see them all.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And so the guys at Shaper told me a story I thought was really cool. And one of the Shaper sessions, they laid out a guitar body and they had sent me a couple. So we split the screen. It was like they were passing it to me and I'd finish cutting it out once they routed it.
Mhm.
And then I used the OF 2200 to finish it. So what was funny was they told me a story that in Europe there was a guy who bought a Shaper Origin and he was almost in tears. He was a guitar maker and he was almost in tears because he had to throw away all his templates. He stored everything on his Origin. It gets, but he had all these templates all over the place and he doesn't need them anymore.
I could see that. And I just now thought about, have you ever seen the speaker manufacturer like in an auto, like a auto car stereo? They have all of the round templates on their walls. I've seen it more than once. And I just now thought about a Shaper Origin is like the best thing ever for a car stereo, like in
Hmm.
custom fab install place. That's all they
Hmm.
need because they can do circles all day long. They don't have to keep all those templates up on the walls. Wow.
It lives in the
Yes.
Origin.
Wow. So
It's
on,
it it's crazy how that tool has changed a lot of people's thinking about
mhm,
templates. So
yeah,
I don't have any ellipse templates. I don't think. Maybe they're hiding somewhere, or you can just swing them. And
yeah.
the other thing too, people don't realize the template also becomes the part of the table. So if say you're doing an elliptical table and it's 6/4, let's just use that, right? Am I going to use a 1/4 inch bit and do that? No, I'm going to do a couple of passes, right? And
Mhm,
then I'm done with the origin. I'm going to cut it close to the line.
mhm.
And the part I've done precisely becomes my template. And I'll finish it with a flush trim pattern bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And that part I've done maybe 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch with 2 or 3 passes to the shaper,
Mhm.
the origin. That's made the template. The template's the table, and I finish it with a pattern cutting bit after I trim
Yeah,
off the excess with a Convex. And that's the thing that people don't realize. I don't need a template anymore. The template
yeah.
becomes the table because of
Isn't that
pattern
crazy?
bit that finishes it.
Yeah, it's a game changer. It's also good to check your little screw on the bottom of your ball bearings every once in a while.
Oh my God. Ain't
I've
that the
had
truth?
that.
So
I've had that happen 3 times.
really, so when
Hmm.
somebody tells me what is a quality router bit, everybody goes, "Oh, it's the carbide, it's carbide." No, it's also the bearing. Okay, what? Because that's where they cheapen stuff. The bearings, they don't put the hats on. Uh, it loosens. Oh yeah, yeah. All of that. That's got to
And
be
when
milled precisely too.
and when that bearing comes off, you're cutting into your workpiece.
You've
It's
ruined it.
it's yeah. It That's why it's really important also to watch the bit whenever you can. Don't just be like pulling along, watch it. And sometimes you can catch something happening. Um, I had a router bit come out of my router like about 2 months ago. I was on the back end of the boat and I was coming across. And all of a sudden I heard this noise like all around me on the floor. And I was like, what is that? Like my ear protection on. I looked down and the bit's laying there. And I went back and looked at the video of it. It's gosh, that bit came out of there and just, what happened was I turned it over upside down and I just kind of thought, oh, it's tight enough. I didn't really kind of like, was kind of in a hurry. It's good to tighten the bit in the collet. Tip of the day. It was a helix head flush cut, half inch, like 3 inch long bit came out of it. Not good. Just so you know.
Holy crap.
And you know what? I thought back. You know what happened? I was putting the bit in, I was putting it on. Cameron, I went over and talked to him about something. Then I went back to the router again, and I think I didn't finish that operation. That's where I think, and it reminds me of I have a rule when I'm hooking up a trailer that if I'm doing the trailer thing, I do not get distracted. I finish the little
Yes.
latch, I do the chains, I do it all. I don't
And,
stop halfway. And also,
and
it's not a two-person job. Cameron and I have a rule: two people don't hook up the trailer. That's because that's both of those things can cause a forget part.
yeah.
But same with the router. Don't stop in the middle or any tool. Don't stop in the middle of tightening a table saw blade. Don't like finish out that operation.
Like how many times have you gone into the tool crib to get sandpaper and get distracted, then come back out, start the sander, and you don't have any paper on it?
I've done it. I've destroyed the Rotex head before on a
Uh
six
huh.
inch.
Everybody has, but you know what? Oh, most people won't admit to it. They'll say, "Oh, my pad's burning up too quick." No, you forgot to put paper on it. Admit it.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you once about that boardroom table. I actually got down the veneer down to bare wood, just sanding with the pad. I
Did you
did.
really?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yes. That Velcro material is so aggressive on the 150 that when you're going to, you think you're doing something. I just remember thinking, this is going to take forever, but I
So
did some damage with it.
we've had some phone calls, people saying, "Hey, where do I get replacement sanding pads?" And I go, and people, and I get, they try to figure out what they're saying. They're
Mhm.
going, that much to sand? They go, what do you, no, they think the sandpaper is the pad. They think those little hooks are the sanding pad, and they don't
Yeah,
realize they need to buy paper for it. Yeah,
there it is.
there it is.
So this one that I just
People
bought for the
think
150,
newbies think, Ronnie, that that's what they sand with.
I could see that. Well, that's why it worked when I didn't realize my paper was on there. This actually took the finish off the table and it was getting down to wood, but it was not very aggressive at all. It does work. There's a grit factor to this. I don't know what it is. I would say maybe it's a for a while it's maybe what a 30 grit, 40 grit at first. No, not quite that, maybe a little bit. I don't know. But I had to buy another one because this and it was old. It came off. The
Yeah.
plastic came off
Yep.
from the soft, kind of like a shoe, the way it's glued on there.
Yep.
But I can't, I mean, that was my very first sander and it's went through all of that. It even made it through the boardroom table sanding. I was still my original thing that I was still
Oh,
using.
cool.
So this was 65, I think.
Yeah.
But
That's the super soft pad. It's gray.
yeah, I like this one because I'm doing a lot of curves and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I just happened to pick this up not long ago at Woodcraft, and I love my local Woodcraft has stuff like this now, and
Yep.
I'll gladly stop by and pick it up and I'll order it. If they have things in stock, I love to just be able to pick it up. So
Yep.
I got a new one. Even the guy in the register said, "Do you have the what's it called, the pad that goes in between it?" He asked me.
Interface pad.
Yes, he said, "Do you have interface pads?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Okay, just checking." I was like, "It's good that you checked."
Wow.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
What? Wow. That's the Lexington
Yep.
Woodcraft.
Yep. Yep. And it wasn't their even their main festival guy. Yeah, the guy asked me if I had it. So I
No,
said,
that's really, I love hearing that.
yeah, yeah, it
The
was really,
suggestion of, do you
yep.
have interface pads?
Yeah, It was a good experience. And I love the added holes on the new one versus what it used to be. I mean, how many is
Hmm.
it double the holes that used to be? The air suction holes?
Okay, so I always got to remember this. It started with 9 hole. Then it went to then it went to multi. It was Jetstream 9 holes, 8 on the outside, one in the middle. Then it went to multi Jetstream. Now I think there's like it sounds funny. I think there's 69 holes on that puppy right
Gosh.
there.
So it's $1 a hole.
Yeah, sir.
No, they last forever, so it doesn't matter. It's it's worth it. I mean, gosh, how many
Do you
projects
know
have
how
they used
much?
that for?
Do you know how much technology's in that pad?
I can't imagine. I see all that. It's not like it's a straight cut. It's like angles and yeah. I mean,
But half of those holes are covered. Do you know where they bring air in through that middle hole? It's called
I
jet
see
stream.
that. I see
It's
that.
yeah, it comes right in and it goes. Look on the side of the pad. The air's brought in from the side. You see those notches?
I've never even noticed that.
Okay, so those notches, there's two. On the regular jet stream, there's two. Now I think there's 8. Most of that air that comes in, uh, half of it goes between the paper and the hooks to keep the hooks cool. Then the other creates an is dropped between the sandpaper itself and the product that you're sanding, and it keeps the surface cool and it breaks the surface tension.
That's amazing.
It sounds weird, huh?
Did the Festool engineers that I met in Germany, are they the ones that did that, or did they outsource that to
Oh
some
no no
kind of
no 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 no! That's all us. You see those hooks
really?
on there?
Mm-hmm.
That is us too. That's not your typical Velcro. Everybody thinks
Just
it's marking. It's stick fix. And what
uh-huh.
stick fix is, it's a multi-directional hook that doesn't go just one way. Well, all Velcro goes one way with the hook, so it
Right.
shifts. That won't shift on there. That's why some people complain it's almost impossible sometimes to take off the paper. That's good because now you can
Go ahead.
maximize
Mm-hmm.
the stroke of the sander to get bringing it down. I always call the paper the tool, and you got to choose the right sander to move the tool and the right grit. I
Sedge, I
oh,
just got an idea. You
what
could do a whole YouTube video on this.
I know.
Do you know what I just noticed? The little green edges, there's
Uh
actually
huh.
little channels in there
Uh huh.
right there. And
People don't.
I've
Uh
never
huh.
noticed the back you're talking about
Uh huh.
and all these different things.
Look in the look
That's
in the
worth
center
doing a
hole.
video on.
Look in the center hole, Ronnie. Look in it, and you see the little inside. That air that's being brought from those 8 channels dumps out of that hole.
That is so cool. And you know what else I just noticed?
What?
Green means it does something. The
Yeah.
green the green pattern on here shows you
Yeah.
what's doing something. There's a green little things around
Yeah.
the outside, and on the
Uh
inside you can see the little tornado on the
huh.
inside. Green is telling you what it does.
Uh
I have never noticed that before.
huh.
That's interesting, something to be like a whole video about. There's more to this than you think.
Yeah.
You know? Very
Huh.
interesting. Anybody who's a Festool person would find that interesting. I do.
Hmm. I have cutaways of pads that show they're red and blue, showing the cooling air and the suction air.
And that's important too, because you could burn your
Mm-hmm.
sandpaper up. The friction.
Yep.
Cameron was talking about friction the other day when we were using the hand planes to bear the top, how fast the plane blade will get warm from the friction.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising how fast it happens.
It's
We've been
crazy, huh?
using a lot of wax on the bottom to
Yeah.
try to eliminate that friction.
How's the boat coming?
It's coming amazing. It's I've seen something. The more time you spend on it, the more progress you make.
Wow, wow,
Yes.
wow. Is that like a Confucius saying,
Yes.
Ronnie?
Because I'm
The
Cameron are sitting there
more
going,
you work,
yes,
the more progress you
yes.
make.
Cameron's like, man, we are just like flying lately. He goes, why are we going? I was like, because it's like almost all we've been working on. And he was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
That's cool though.
But this top, it's like getting the reward, getting the decking on there is like the reward for everything that we've been doing. And then he also, it's good to have somebody that just like hears you talk all the time. Me, here, because I told him, I was like, you know what? I said, this decking thing is without a doubt the hardest thing that we've done yet with the boat. And he's like, Dad, you've said that about every single step of the boat build.
You know what? You probably, yeah, I think you have.
Because I do remember saying that the bending the wood on the thing that was hard. That was the hardest thing. I remember, but we both agreed that if we build another one, all of those things wouldn't be so hard anymore because
Mhm.
it's that whole thing of trying to learn, okay, I don't know how to do this. I'm doing this for the first time. And you overthink it, when you try to educate yourself and then you're nervous you're going to mess up and all that. Going through that whole process is exhausting in your brain each time. And you can finally relax. And then you go to the next step and you're like, oh no, this is the hardest thing yet. This is it. This is it. But I do feel like now that was the thing. This and the electrical part are the two that it's hard for me to guess how long it's going to take us. And people are like, "When's your boat going to be done?" I'm thinking I haven't even got the decking on the top, so I don't know. But
Mhm.
I feel really good about now. I'm looking at. I mean, there's still plenty of things to do, but it feels like we're getting to that final stages.
And correct me if I'm wrong, to bring this back to templates, you guys did all the templates by hand.
Yes, we did. And I hung on to them till very recently because I
Yeah.
was like, why am I saving these? They were on my orange lumber rack shelf on the
Yeah.
very top. I had them in little stacks and I thought I'm never going to use these again and I just need to burn them. So I just got rid of them. But yeah, I spent so
Mhm.
much time on them. Because if I ever built another boat, I'd make my templates on the CNC, like what we were talking
Yep.
about. Um, he brought up laser. I am a huge fan. I've never done it, but I'd be a huge fan of using the laser for templates because you don't have to worry about material hold down. And you would have to have a laser that was powerful enough to go through 3/8 inch material,
Mhm.
which is, I think ours will do thicker than that.
Oh, you guys got a laser, huh?
We have the big X tool one,
Oh, I
and
think I yeah.
yeah, we don't use it a lot, but we've used it for a lot of things like engraving and some things like that. But you can use acrylic for templates if you do something a lot, and some people use
Mhm.
acrylic, and laser will cut acrylic no problem. So I'm a big fan of the laser idea for templates because you can just set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about material hold down. You don't have to do anything. I'm a big fan of using my CNC also, but not for small templates. For small templates, you end up having to take the multi-tool and cut out, leave tabs in there so your material
Mhm.
doesn't move around, or you're using a back table and it's just a big process. But for large pieces, templates, the CNC is great, but for the more intricate it gets, the more I would lean towards laser and not
Mhm.
CNC. That's
Mhm.
and the shaper I think is all around like it can do everything we just talked about. But it's one of those things still where it's like there's not one tool fits all. They all have a place. He said CNC, 3D printer, laser, and by hand. I have not touched on 3D printer. I don't think that's ideal for woodworking unless you're really a 3D person, 3D printing person,
Mhm.
because you have to print things so dense to be perfectly smooth on the side and you
That's
get
fine.
into layers. And I'm just not sure that that would be ideal for anything that I've ever built wood wise. A 3D printer, it's too slow.
I
You
have
know,
I have two guys in the office. I talk about something, and the next day I have it. They go home and they print it for me.
I got a boy that does that for me.
Yeah, man.
I send him anytime I see something I'm like, do you see this? Last thing I saw were those little clips that go on the hose that hold the cord. They're like
Yeah.
circle clips. They've got a little like nipple on the outside that will
Yeah.
hold. I told Cameron they print some of those out for me. And then I saw another one that he hasn't printed out yet. It takes a regular standard triangle shaped razor blade and it goes on there and it's a trimmer. It's like a edge banding trimmer. It goes in there and it rides along the top and it perfectly sets the blade with the top of the surface
Ooh.
and it curls it right off. It's pretty much you're making a plane
Yeah.
and the razor blade is your
Oh, I'll have to see that. It sounds
yeah.
cool.
I sent that to him yesterday. Sometimes I have to get on him. I'm like, hey, I put in some orders. He
Yeah.
said I'm the worst customer ever. Because I don't pay him for those, but I bought the filament.
I know. It's funny.
But yeah, boat's coming along great. And the video, I'm still working on it. I told you last week that I am still working. I've spent a ton of time on it. I was planning on stopping at the bow decking and
Hmm.
just not showing over the seats in the back,
Yeah.
but I've decided to just go ahead and
Oh,
finish it off. So we're already got the seats, the back and the bow are all fared out.
so so this weekend in my feed came Breen boats. You know Breen?
Breen, Breen,
Breen. Breen.
is he the one that just put the finish on the top?
Oh,
He put,
unbelievable.
yeah, I get
And
that a
his
lot.
runabouts and his runabout limousine boats,
Yes.
I was
Yes.
hooked. I must have watched 20 reels back to back.
Yeah, I've seen his come up. He's been reposted a lot by some like boat building publications stuff. They've
Hmm.
reposted it. It's I've seen a lot on my feed.
He does restoration, but he builds his own boats too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh my God.
Very cool.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
fun.
like so I guess my phone hears me talking about it and
Must
feeds me,
yeah,
baby, feeds me.
must be. Must be.
But I subscribed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I hit the hand tool thing just in time. In between that and the Tormech classes from Sedge and doing all of that, it was couldn't have been more perfect timing because I went home telling Kelly so excited, and she just really didn't get into my story. But I would have, I used to, I would have used to use a sander to do what I'm doing with the top, and I would have thought it was fine. But the using a plane is doing exactly what you want. It's hitting every little high spot, and each time you do it, it's flattening it more and more and more. And when I was finished with the bow, I stood back and I could see the reflection of my van outside in the bow. And I was telling Kelly this, the excitement was not there. But I was so excited. I was like, you don't understand. I've not even touched this with sandpaper, and it's smooth as can be. I'm like, it's so cool because if you've done it the other way with sandpaper, you wouldn't appreciate if you started with a plane. But when you do that in backwards, and I just can't imagine trying to get it that flat with a
And
sander,
how much time you've saved.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can dial it into where it's really aggressive or where it's not. And
Hmm.
oh, it's so fun. It's so fun. And I'm glad Cameron's gotten to experience the back part because I did pretty much the bow mostly without him because he had that 3 week job thing. But he's been able to help out with the I don't use all the boat terms. People would be like aft, forward, starboard, back.
Whatever.
I'm like,
It
whatever.
don't it
I'm
don't matter.
saying back, so it applies to everyone, the back of the boat, top, and behind the seats. Doing that, he was able to yesterday, I mean, he was 4 hours. We both were on a plane, 4 hours. And it's been a majority of going on 4 weeks we've spent on the decking on the top. That it is definitely, even though I say that about every step, it is the most time consuming step of the boat so far, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I won't say like I always say it's the hardest, but this one, there's not any step we've spent 4 weeks on. This has been a time consuming thing, but it's been the most fun and
Yeah.
rewarding one. Just really, really fun.
Yep.
So I'm
You're
excited
pushing the
about getting
you're
it.
pushing your woodworking skills envelope on it.
It very much so, and also my repair skills. I've
Yeah.
had a few things happen where I'm like one of them is that when you put the wood strips across and you're holding them down because I'm not using fasteners, which by the way is working great. Um, I had to use shims to make each one of them really tight. You know, when you put the board across there, and I've had some epoxy come out and get on the shims, and I've learned you do not pull up because you
Oh.
can tear the grain off. It's
Yeah.
happened to me twice, and I've known how to fix it. I've taken a rate and I've come back and cut like a diagonal and put a, and then you can't see it. I had Holly tear out too, which is nice because Holly's just solid white, so you can patch that
Mm.
no problem at all. So I've learned you have to twist the wood like sideways. You can't pull up, or you can take the grain with it. But I've had several repair type things that would have been a nightmare if I had not experienced that kind of thing before. And
Wow.
we've talked about it before. Woodworking is about knowing how to repair mistakes
Yep. Yep.
because things happen.
And not to freak out. Walk
Yep.
away from it as I do and don't freak out on it. There's a way to fix it.
Yep. There's always a way to
And
fix it.
and if you can't fix it, just rebuild it. What's the
Yep.
big deal? It's just
Speaking of that, I've never worried about my shop burning until recently. I
yeah.
sit at home at night sometimes and I go, gosh, it would suck if my shop burned down. It would
my
suck
boats,
so bad.
my boats in there.
I mean, before that, it's like I can get new tools, no big deal. It's all insured. But the boat, I mean, Cameron and I were talking about the other day. I'm like, I was sitting there, I was like, if we were on the water and somebody said, what would you sell it for? I said, what would you sell it for? And he sat there and thought forever. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we were sitting there throwing out numbers of like 65. That's laughable. How much time we've spent on it?
Yeah.
Laughable. It's like it's pretty much, I guess, priceless in our brain. You know,
Yes, it should be.
yeah, it is. It is. We were talking about if we built a second one that was not our first, what we would do it for, this exact same boat. And we both agreed that we would not even consider it like under 70. Wouldn't even
Yeah.
consider it.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't really make money if we did it at 70 because the amount of time that
Yeah.
you spend on it. But back to the CNC and the templating thing, if you cut a lot of the parts on the CNC, it would
Yes.
dramatically cut the time down dramatically.
Yeah. You had said that
And
on a previous podcast. That's why I brought it up.
yeah, it would cut it out. But we wanted to do this all by hand. I didn't want some of the haters to be like, "Oh, try building a boat by hand," so we did. I'd be okay with never cutting a frame by hand again.
Yeah, imagine. Holy crap,
Yeah.
man. You
Yeah,
poof.
but and the other surprising thing that we spent a lot of time on was making sure that those holly lines lined up across from the front to the back.
Oh, wow.
If it wasn't for my laser line, I used a long Festool rail just to kind of get it close in the
Yeah.
layout. But there's nothing better than using a laser that just shoots it down, and it helps so much. It's almost a must because I think about like back before there's lasers, you can't use a string because the boat crown in the middle, it's higher than it is on the ends. So if you stretch a string from one end to the other, it's being held in the middle. So it's not going to sit, it's not going to show you what a straight line is. So
Yeah.
you kind of have to have a laser line to really get it, you know, dead on. So it's all about having the right tools too. It
Always, always, always.
it really is. But it's been fun. It's it's nice to learn new things. If it wasn't for the boat, there would be nothing pushing me to learn new things. You know,
Yeah.
it's pushing my woodworking knowledge. It's pushing all of that forward. Because there's a point we've talked about before, building cabinets or doing trim in houses and stuff. There's a point where you're not really learning new things. It's just different shapes and different. You're using the same techniques pretty much.
Uh-huh.
But tell you, gosh, I'm learning techniques that you've known forever, because you've been in it longer than me, and you've been back when there was more handwork done, like before there was power. You've been doing it since before there was power. You used to have that thing where you pedaled the bike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I I used to hire people in my shop because it was all pulleys and leather belts, and
You had that water wheel.
I
That
did, I
water.
did, I did.
So I
So
do feel like I come full circle,
yeah, it was funny in the interview today that I did. They asked me what inspires me still today. That's a tough question.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
where do you get your inspiration? I said mostly from people and talking with people and then seeing somebody build something and say, hey, how would I do that? Or I just said I walked around IKEA recently and got some ideas because everybody's
right.
talking about this. And I was like, I didn't get what they were saying, so I had to go look at it and walking around furniture stores and
I do that regularly.
yeah, where do you get your inspiration? Yeah. That's a good question, but it's also tough.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
tough.
I think one of the things I've always said is, if you're a motivational type of person, who motivates the motivator? How does that person get motivated?
True.
Because there's some people in companies they're the people who in leadership motivate people or inspire people, But how do those people get inspired? What's,
Yeah.
it,
That
so
happens. That happens a lot in churches, like ministers, and they get burned out because they're always motivating everyone. And if they don't have someone to turn to,
yeah.
or I guess even the head of a company, you'd have to have other people, or you run out of gas in your brain, I guess, for
Mm.
you've got to have a
Okay, so
hustle.
it's really cool because this is coming out on Friday for our patrons, and there's people going to be listening, and I'll probably see them this weekend. I'm gonna meet up with Dirk. I'm gonna go down to the Woodcraft in Dayton and spend the morning there Saturday, but I'm gonna drive down Friday afternoon after live to hang out. And today in the I guess the that interview, that phone interview I did, the inspiration for me is getting around people of similar thought process and likes woodworking, right? And
Hmm.
just meeting people and talking to people. I think that's what inspires me. That's what motivates me
Hmm.
because I get jazzed talking to people about woodworking, and some of it just happens to be done with festival, but woodworking in general and meeting people. I guess that's what. It's funny when I get asked the question. Sometimes that makes me think. I've been thinking about it all afternoon, even after hanging that up.
Yeah.
How do you get inspired?
I think that that's a lot of what fed Workbench Con also, that whole thinking of what you just said. You're around like-minded people who are kind of doing the same, even though they're doing something. It could be somebody building motorcycles, but it's still the same concept of thinking,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Eric Gorgeous, it's like we can
Yeah.
talk to him, and even though he's talking about building a chopper, we both connect that we know what each
Yeah.
other's,
Yeah. He inspires me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it. Yeah,
Because
that was a
somebody will
good
say, "Hey,"
question.
somebody says, "Hey, how do you do that?" And I go, "Well, this is the way I do it."
Hmm.
And then you're with somebody else, and like you go, "No, yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that, but this is how I do it." I went, "Oh, I never thought about it that way. That process." So I guess that's how I get jazzed. I get re-inspired every time I do something like that. I meet up with people and talk with people. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, even this podcast, when I hang out with you guys and we record this, I have a tough time sometimes getting to sleep afterwards because I'm thinking about, wow, that was really cool hanging out with those guys and talking about woodworking and sometimes we've had podcasts we didn't touch much about woodworking. We talked about life and
Hmm.
stuff like that, and but that's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I get inspired different ways. Hmm. How about you, man?
Yeah. I think mine are things that I see. Like I've got a little habit, which is not a good idea. I don't think I don't like to let social media know what I like and don't like, and I don't share anything whenever I see something I like, I'll text it to myself at so I can go back later on. And for some reason, I wanted to send it to myself. So then when I'm somewhere like waiting in a doctor's office or something like that, I will go to my text and I'll look either at something I wanted to see more of, or it's something I wanted to remember to show Cameron, or it's something I wanted to look more into. And I keep that and I text myself so much, I'm never caught up.
Oh,
I'm never caught up from looking at my own text. So I never have downtime because I'll go and start looking down that rabbit hole of things I wanted to see more of. And it actually works, but I don't feel like anybody else does that.
do you text it to your regular text or to
I
notes?
text it to my regular self so I can go into my text and it's a text from me. And it's a way for me to keep, and it could be something on Facebook, Instagram, something I saw on TikTok, or something just a URL from a website. And just where I won't lose track of it, I just text it to myself. And somebody would be sitting there going, "Why don't you just put on your notepad? Why don't you do this?" It works for me because I can quickly fire it off to myself. And sometimes in the morning when Kelly and I have coffee, I'll scroll through it and I can see the little previews like in my text. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this is something I want to share with Kelly, an idea I saw for our porch or something. And I have some that I want to show Cameron. And so I kind of go through them, and it also keeps track of them. If I ever wanted to go back and look at them, I can. So it's kind of just a folder for me. But
That's
I
cool.
think that's where I get a lot of my inspiration because instead of forgetting about it and scrolling on, I lock it in so I can go back and look at it. Perfect example. When I was right before the podcast, I saw on my feed it said if you have land, and they said that if you had 30 acres of trees, that they will pay you to grow them. And I was like, what? And I started looking and it said learn more. I said learn more, saved the URL, texted myself. We'll look at it. It's some kind of federal program where they pay you to grow trees. I'm all about that.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so
Tree
things like
farm.
that.
I know people who do that.
Yeah, that'd be
It's a
kind of
tax
cool.
write-off.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. But a lot of them are ideas. I'll see ideas, and that's probably the biggest one, seeing ideas from just scrolling through. And it's all about, it's so much data for your brain. It's probably not good for all of us because we see
Hmm.
so much stuff.
Yes.
But when something stands out, I try to just put it there where I can put it out of my head for right now. Because usually I'm seeing it when I shouldn't even be looking.
Yeah, no.
I should be doing like working on the
I,
boat and I'm scrolling through.
I know. And we get hit from so many different directions that it's an information overload.
It is. It is that like it's almost like that text to myself is a reminder in my brain. Don't worry about it anymore. You've texted to yourself. Let's do what you're doing, and
Hey, put
you can go
you
back
put
to
it in
that
a
later on.
it's called putting it in a box.
Yeah, and it's an
So
easy way to
so
do that.
I'm sorry. How do you do that? You just
I just go up to the text, just like you were going to send me a text, but
yeah.
put yourself in there. Yeah, I'm always the last. I'm always the top five in my messages. I'm one of the top five because I text myself as much as I do anybody else. So the first time you've got to go up there and say send a text and put your own self in there, and then you just when you go in there, you just pick yourself and send a text just like you would to anybody else. And it's handy because you can put a URL in there, you can put a picture in there, you can put a link to Instagram, TikTok, anything, and it will work. And it's kind of like your own little folder of things you want to remember or look into more. And I touched on a little bit, but I kind of, what I started doing it,
I just did it. I just did it.
one of the things I like about it is that like it's not letting the social media world back in know what you're into as much or what, because you're just copying the link to it. You're not just, I'm not, it's not like I shared it to you through the platform. Because when you do that, I think it lets the platform know, oh, Sedge likes this, you know. So I just like
Yep.
bring it off the platform and just have it on my own platform in a way. But it,
Wow.
but when you ask me what inspired me, I go back to that sometimes just to look through um, what I've shared with myself,
Huh.
and it's a good place to. I mean, you could send. I'll sometimes send
It's
myself
almost like your text is your journal.
exactly, but it's very easy and it doesn't require another app. It doesn't require anything except your phone that you already have. I mean, I guess the basis is just people don't realize you can text yourself, you know, and it won't get lost. It's backed up. It's in the iCloud, all that kind of stuff.
Once again, someone suggested a new app we should be using. I'm like,
Texting
Jesus.
yourself. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think everybody's apped out anyway. You know, it's like you're really
I
reluctant
am.
to add more apps because, oh, yeah. So
Oh.
that's my solution.
Hey, we should organize it with this platform. Oh my God.
I'll tell you, and we know how we talked about the builder
Yeah.
trend,
Yeah, I
and I
know.
sent. So
Yeah.
I people remember about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I said that more and more I'm getting requested to sign in to a platform that a builder or remodeler is using, and I couldn't think of the name of it. It's Builder Trend. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with it, but I'm sure it's great for the companies. But I don't want to have a login to your company. It doesn't help me any at all. I'm just let me send you the quote and then you send me the deposit and I'm done. And they're like, no, you can get on here and that way you can see the status of your payment. You can I don't want to. I
I
don't want to
know.
be I don't want to be part of your system. I don't. And I get a request like once every month or two. And I know what they're doing. They think it's great that they have this system that flows, but you're not going to get all of your subcontractors to be on board with it or to care. That invite I sent you as an example, the next day I got one.
Mhm.
I never went out there and did it. And of course, their process is if you don't, because I'm sure plenty of their subs may not even have a smartphone. They may have a flip phone from 1994. So I think they're like, if you want to, it'd be great, but if you can't, that's okay too. So that's a broken system too, So I just choose to be like, I don't know how to do that. That's funny. Fun stuff.
Oh.
Oh man.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? There's a guy I follow on Instagram, and I'm not on Instagram much anymore, but I had to go
Me
on there.
neither.
I had to go on there today, and he's a really cool guy. I met him in person at JLC. I love this guy, the Mexican carpenter.
Yes. Yeah, I'm familiar with him. Yeah.
Okay, well, he had a reel that he reposted or posted, and it came up on my feed, and it was two people kicking the shit out of each other on a job site. And the person commentating isn't saying in Spanish. I don't understand a word, but I'm laughing my butt off. And I hear gringo y marcano. That's it's two people fighting and beating the snot out of each other, and four or five people just watching them in a really nice house.
Oh my gosh.
They were contractors in a nice house, and they're kicking the shit. And boy, it brought back so many memories.
Have you ever seen one like perfect example what you're explaining, and then you show your wife and you like, and then she just doesn't get it because she's
No.
never been in that environment, and she looks at it
Yep.
like it's not that funny, and you're like, yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Yes.
Oh,
Sometimes you have to have seen it to know how funny and true it
yes.
is.
Or to have been
Yeah.
in that
Yes.
situation going, oh, they're really kicking the crap out of each other. This is going to be good. And you're like standing there, up on the second story or on the ladder going, oh, I hope they don't kick my ladder.
It's so funny.
I
Oh,
know.
oh man.
Boy, people get their tempers rise sometimes on a job site.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Without a doubt. Oh man, I'm glad we do this again well, I know everybody here's on Fridays or the Mondays work out really nicely because usually Mondays are I don't it's like my admin day or I don't really talk a lot during the month and I feel like I exercise my talker on Mondays and I feel more energetic after we're done with our
Yeah.
podcast.
So I know we're back to recording on Mondays, and I love it because Monday's my heavy day at work. Everybody's in the office, and I come home and I'm like, I've been running around all day, and I get to sit here and chat with you guys, and it's my de-stressor, and I'm ready for the rest of the week.
It does work. It does
Yeah.
work. I would say that's another tip. If somebody is like me, I mean, when Cameron's available, but if you work a lot by yourself, I think the more you do that, the less you want to talk to people, but you really should do the opposite.
Yep.
And that comes back to why I think Workbench Con and going to these conferences and going to Woodcraft on Saturday and stuff, like things like that. It's important to be around people that also are into what you're into and it
Yep.
energizes you and inspires you.
Yeah.
That's where it
So
comes from.
I think everybody who's listened to the podcast knows I don't like to go to the big trade shows, and we at Festival don't go to the big trade shows anymore. But I know somebody who reached out to me and said, "Hey, you gonna go?" And I go, "No, because it's in Vegas. AWFS is this week."
Hmm.
And I thought about it, and I go, "I've always looked at it through a different lens, haven't I? I've been stuck in a booth,
Hmm.
but I haven't since. Okay, since 1992, 93. Uh, walked IWF or AWFS just as a customer. And I thought, man, I could have gone out there this week just for 2 days, and I probably would have gotten re-energized again talking with people,
Yes.
but not having to be in a booth. So I'm thinking I may take a little PTO next year. I'm not sure,
Hmm.
and fly down to Atlanta for IWF and walk it and maybe make a new connection or two.
Hmm. I think it's a great plan. That's why I help out in US Tool and Fasteners booth, but I've never wanted to work it because I want to be able to walk around when I want to
Yeah.
take it in. That's the fun part for me. But I know being in a booth all day can really wear your brain out, as you
You
know,
know,
as you know.
um, yes, this past year or last year in St. Louis, we do this thing. It's a vendor show, and I've never been able to walk out of the booth because I've always had a bunch of people to talk to. Well, last year in St. Louis, I got a chance to walk around to just the vendors who were there, and I met two or three really cool people to the point I sat and chatted with this guy who was running a really cool CNC, and he goes, "Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I watch your videos. Ah, cool." Just started shooting shit. Guess what? He now works for Festool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. He's a really nice guy, and the
That's
company
neat.
went belly up, and we had a position, and he applied for it. It was really cool.
That's neat.
So I get to meet some really cool people if I'm able to walk around. I thought about that because my buddy Dan is going to AWFS, and he was reaching out to see if I was going. I went, nah, and
Yeah, I'm more reluctant to go to shows in Vegas for sure. Every time I go, I always like,
God,
and it's nothing against Vegas as
oh
far as somebody
yeah, it
lives
is.
there. Well, it's just gotten so commercialized now and so expensive to the point of they think corporations are paying for everyone's, and
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like they're trying to talk people out of coming there. I was watching last night. I YouTube rabbit hole. It was like, why is Vegas declining right now? And I had to watch it. I was curious, and they said that the resort fee has gotten out of hand. And the
Yeah.
average resort fee is like 50 some a night to
Mm.
stay. And they said if you look at the fine print, what that pays for are phone local calling from the room, which is hilarious. Like who
Yep.
uses a phone in a hotel?
Who knows anybody in
Yeah,
Vegas?
I know. Local calling, and it's also pool. But the thing is, Vegas pool is only open like October. They close in October. They're only open like a part of the year. So that's one of the biggest perks you're paying for. And that's year round. They charge the resort fees. But they said that all the fees that they're charging are starting to drive people away from the strip. And they said that the old part of Vegas is starting to get revitalized because everybody is tired of all of the fees and everything that's
Mm-hmm.
being charged, taxes on top of taxes on your room rate. They said a
Mm-hmm.
$50 room is $125,
That's
$175,
crazy.
you know,
It's crazy.
and all of the budget like meal thing, it's all now five-star restaurants, and there's
Mm-hmm.
just not any reasonable places to eat, and all that's just kind of, it's not what it used to be, and they've kind of lost what they were. And I'm not a big gambling person, but the guy also touched on that most of the strip, um the blackjack tables, their odds are terrible, like in the roulette thing, and you have to go off the strip to even have a chance. And I'm gonna mess this up. I think blackjack, they say it should be like a 2-to-1 type payout. They do 3-to-2 payout, which is like they said it's terrible. And a lot of people, they said, don't even know, and they'll sit there and lose all kinds of money like tourists, and they don't even realize what they did. But they said that that's the way off strip now is getting people. They're paying the way they used to. They also said all the table games are going away because of cost of employees and the dealers, and they're replacing it with slot machines that don't pay out like they used to. So it was interesting to watch, even though I'm not big
Wow.
on gambling. It's just that's where Vegas is right now. And just Vegas needs to be careful because they require a lot of people to stay up and running. And it sounds like is a big group of people that are just saying no more. Like they almost like have hit their breaking point.
Yeah.
So when you go there for a conference, it's great to go there, but it's like when you're not at the conference, it gets to where they used to say there used to be $5 shows in Vegas. Not
You
very long
remember?
ago. They said
Yep.
$5. And now
Yep.
it's hundreds, you
I
know,
know it's crazy.
hundreds. So it's interesting. But you talked about Atlanta. I'd much rather go to a show in Atlanta than I would Vegas.
Yeah. Same.
So so it's going to be in Atlanta next year, sounds
Oh
like.
yeah. It flip flops every year.
Okay. So yeah, I would be more prone to go next year as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe not. It all
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
It's
but I
cool.
don't want to work it. You know, I just want to walk it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because even every time I walk it and I go to it, I always see something I missed posted when I get back. And it'll be like the best tool I've ever needed in my life. Where has this been my whole life? And it was there, and I walked right by it. because it's all
Yeah.
about how good is their booth.
It's almost
Sometimes you don't know, you know.
it's almost I don't want to I'd like to go and almost walk it by myself.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. When I'm with, sometimes I get distracted with other people and I'm not paying attention, but I also have trouble taking in each one. I'll get to where sometimes I want to get to the end of this aisle and I get
Yeah.
tunnel vision,
Yep. Same.
especially when there's a booth that really has a good visual and you just start looking at that and you skip
Yep.
6 or 7 of them. So what
I
I've
know.
found is I have to walk through if I can, like if it's not a huge show, like maybe 2 or 3 times just to make sure I
Yep.
didn't miss anything.
I know it's tough though when it's that big.
It is. It's very tough, but it's fun. That's a place you can get inspired. Gosh, or you can also get overwhelmed because you just see all these tools the size of buildings, and you're like, I'm never gonna have that.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of smaller things, and like, I mean, last time I was there, Rubio was there, and all kinds of companies that we all work with. Um, it's it's definitely you can pick up, learn a lot, and you'll see people you know, guaranteed. In a,
Oh yeah. No, I
yeah,
know. And not get distracted because there's all kinds of, and have a hit list of the vendors you do want to meet and
that's
talk
important.
to.
That's important.
I had a whole list of at JLC if I got out of the booth to go visit, and I think I had 10, and I didn't get out of the booth at all. The only time
Yeah.
I had free was to have breakfast with my buddy Lee before it opened at Negrec's booth. Him and I went to Dunkin' Donuts. We had breakfast every morning, and we had our Dunkin' Donuts at the Greg's booth. It sounds funny.
You
And I
get
go, I'll see you when I see you. He goes, yeah, me too.
yeah, you get swamped at JLC.
And I didn't get to
You get
see what I wanted to see. So
yeah, you definitely
it it's
get
okay. That's what I
absorbed.
do for a living, and I
Yeah.
really like it because the people coming through at that show, I have been talking to them for 18 years.
And it's the same groups of
It's a
people.
homecoming. It's a
Yeah.
homecoming for me.
Yeah. I've gotten every year that I go, I recognize more and more people that I just see. I know that guy was here last year. This people were here last year. Yeah. They come in little groups.
Yep.
And usually I'll recognize it's like this group of 10 guys came through here last year. I remember them, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's really cool. That's
Yeah,
a good show.
you're the one who took my money last year. I go, I'm going to
Yeah.
take it again this year too,
Yeah,
buddy.
just wait and
Step
see.
into my booth.
Have you seen this new pad and what it can do? This
Have
little
you
sanding
seen this
pad?
light? Let's have a guessing game on this light. $300. It's 69. It's 59.99. Sign them up for 3.
Yes. The light was a very impressive one, by the way. Both the
Yeah.
lights, the new lights, those are a great buy. If somebody's looking for a tool that they just want to spend a little money and get something that's nice, I use those lights all the time. And I was very pleasantly surprised when I saw the price of them. What's
Mhm.
the other one? 150, 160 for
Yeah, 170 or something like that, and that thing is super bright.
this one?
Yeah, I think it's like
Yeah.
170,
I
169.
was I was thinking I was guessing 300 before I looked. And when I saw that, I was like, wow. So Cameron, I was like, he guessed about the same, 300, and it was half price. He always says, save money, buy Festool.
Yep.
He really wants
This
that slogan to
this
stick.
this episode 193 was brought to you by Not Festool.
No, it wasn't. But we definitely, it's a big
Do
part
we
of what,
have
go ahead.
do we have any other administrative stuff?
I don't think so. I think we're waiting till next week. Jason will be joining us
Yep.
and we'll be catching up on any admin we haven't touched on.
Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you everybody for your patience on that.
Yes. Yes. And thank you for listening. And
And also just make sure you thank Cam. Last week was great.
yeah. And yeah, that went really well. I learned a lot just from hearing his updates. That was
Yeah,
good.
man.
That was good. And make sure that everyone thanks Drew Witt for being on our podcast.
Yeah.
Reach out to Drew and say, hey, thanks for being on the podcast. Maybe we should actually have him on.
Yeah, but that was
It's been a
funny as
while.
heck. Hey,
Have we had him
We
on?
already had him on.
That was a while back, though.
No. We just had him on tonight. We've never had him on before.
Oh, I was thinking if we had him on, it was a long time ago because I'm not remembering it. Yeah, we should have him on sometimes. He'd have plenty to say. We can tell. He can tell us how to set up an MFT.
Yeah.
Once he goes through your video, he can tell us the highlights.
I'm gonna send him the video. I'm gonna watch his. He sent 2 videos.
You know what I did a minute ago? I looked at my screen and I said, I'm gonna make sure this is still recording.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
No, just because I started thinking, did it say recording when we
Yeah.
joined?
No, it did. I double checked it.
Because you remember the one time
Oh my God. That was a great podcast.
I
The
know
lost episode.
we walked out with our feather. I was like, man, we nailed that podcast. Jason's like, didn't record.
Shit.
I was like, so we probably, hopefully, we'll never do that again. Hopefully not. I guess it's about time for Leo, isn't it?
Yeah. It's Leo time.
I guess Tommy. Hey, Tommy, I'm gonna put you down in a minute.
Yeah,
Tommy,
yeah,
Tom Silva.
yeah.
Um, oh, I gotta close with this. This is so funny. I got a comment on YouTube and it said, "Love the video. I'm so annoyed by your shop cat. I will not be watching anymore." Something like that.
Wow.
And I was like, this guy hates cats.
Holy
like,
shit.
all it is like you might see a second clip of him or something. But
Wow.
it said, I can't take the shop cat. Like it said like unsubscribed, something like that. And I was like,
Wow.
okay.
Good for you.
It was funny. You just gotta
Good
laugh.
for you, pal.
You just gotta laugh.
What
It's
a
funny.
douche.
I know. Okay. Well, I just got off on another subject, but
That's
I
awesome.
meant to tell you that. Fun stuff. Well, I
All
guess
right.
so. Next week we will be all three of us,
Yes.
and we will be quickly approaching episode 200.
Wow. We
Splinter
haven't thought
Con.
anything about what we're doing for that.
We haven't. We probably need to have like a lot of celebrities on and like really reach deep pockets.
If my math's right, that's 7 weeks away.
Is it right? 7 weeks? You did that in your head?
I did.
Is that metric?
It's metric.
I'm imperial. I can't do that. I think it's 3/4 of a week away.
I swear we've been in the 80s for 10 weeks.
That's it. I do. I feel like we've been in there for a while. Everybody's probably ready for us to say 200. Maybe we should just skip. We should just skip to after 195, just 200. Who's counting?
That's it. Do it.
Do it. Well,
All right.
all right. Well, thanks for joining everybody. With listening to us, not joining. Well, thanks for listening and keep the Discord coming. Questions.
Yep.
And we'll see you with all three of us next week.
Hey, bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye.